Hello, mates. Welcome to London. Now, run for your lives.
And we're live. Oh, it seems so long.
Oh.
It seems to take so
Not this
long.
shit again.
I was holding on to, I was trying to talk and I was getting ready to jump in. And you're like, no, not yet, not yet. I was like, that's because the opening is still going on.
Duh. A real man would know that, Tony.
Oh, you gotta stop that.
Poor
The only
audience is
reason-
like, what happened?
the
Mom
only-
and Dad are fighting.
This is nothing. Most of the people who watch the show watch me and Adam. Okay, so
And I defer
Tony's
to
like the
my-
good creepy uncle, and then Adam's
My-
like
my
the
comment-
abusive spouse.
My comment was a compliment. I called your father a real man. That is all I did.
We're
Just
gonna
not you.
so we're gonna take it
Just
out of
not you,
context. Is what it's gonna be. Okay, I'm cool.
That was exactly the context.
Speaking of sires,
Anyway, yeah, I just threw that out there because it's fun. Anyway, so hey everybody, welcome to Wicked City Kindred episode
Yes, you're-
chapter 2, episode 7. And,
Episode 7.
yeah.
When we get done with this, and I think that, what is it, Blood City, one of the other Onyx Path V5 games, they ended tonight a little bit earlier.
Oh, did they?
They did their finale at episode 23 for their Chicago by Night game. We did 12 episodes in the first season, and we've got 8 for this chapter 2. We're going to have 20 episodes that are going to be kind of similar in that we started with Chicago by Night, but now I threw you through a wormhole. You're back in 1859 London, and things do not look good for the coterie. You've been
No, continue.
You've been imprisoned in the Tower of London, which is to say not a tower, but a dungeon. The White Tower stands above the fortress, which is a barracks to itself. Thick stone walls rising high above a moat, a drawbridge, backed up against the Thames, and you, beneath it, in a pit. 2 of you are actually stuck in a pit, which is now slick and oily with this smell of whale oil dripping down the sides, viscous, greasy, and highly flammable. You're surrounded by a dozen archers, each wanting to put the next one right in your head. Julian, you turned yourself into a shadow and escaped at the first opportunity. Vanyo was just damn lucky, and he's also making his way the hell out of there.
I would like to think that my D&D experience is what kicked in, not luck.
He smelled that trap coming,
Yeah,
is
I
what
did.
he's saying. But now he's hightailing it for the exit, which was a sewer, a disused sewer entrance that goes out to the Thames. You're being joined by a shadow who's slipped his way through a crack in the door. The other 2, down in the pit, trying to defend himself with a bit of a metal table. They're both huddled behind Lilith and Arthur, taunting a bit when they finally meet Valerius. Lilith launched a stake at him, which planted itself right in his shoulder.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. It's hot, actually, is what it was.
He paid you back moments later by cutting off Tusable's head and dropping it into the pit. Tusable's last and final words were, "The stone is in Blackfriars." That's where we left off, and things could not be more dire. I've added the Tower of London to the map in front of you. You can see where you are in relation to the rest of the city. I can also show you a little bit of the layout of the Tower of London. These plans show the White Tower directly in the center of the parade grounds. The moat and the drawbridge to the south. The barracks within the tower walls to the north. you can presume that you are directly beneath the White Tower. Many floors inside the dungeons, the true dungeons of the Tower of London. Vanyo, your entry/exit passed you through 2 adjoining rooms, part of a working sewer, and then off into a disused part of the sewer that escapes out to the Thames, where you had yanked off some bars to get through. What are we all thinking about? The party is split. Vanyo and Julian, you'll rendezvous together, I suppose, in the adjoining rooms, or even in the tunnels on the way in or out. Arthur and Lilith, you're sort of stuck with each other.
Just a little bit.
Just like your sarcophagus all over again.
It's funny how we keep ending up together.
Right? Yeah.
I don't know.
I am open to thoughts. For the moment, you are under guard. At least 2 of you are, and 2 of you have escaped.
Go ahead.
I mean, I don't know for sure. If we're picking up, is Valerius now looking at me?
Oh, he left.
He left? Oh, okay.
Yeah. One of the little S corridors that leads in and out of this room, after he got hit with his stake and beheaded Dusable, he thought better of hanging around, and he's at least gone out that door.
Okay. And it looks like there could be someone else who is pretty readily in charge there.
There's
the sheriff's there, right?
the sheriff from the south is there.
Okay.
Character sheets here.
Let's see. I would like to try to use entrancement on her.
Oh, Juliet Parr.
Yeah. Okay, so let me display it because this thing's so hard to read. So rouse check, charisma and presence versus composure and wits.
Composure and wits.
So I'll do my rouse. I succeeded. Again. Why is this wrong? Sorry. It's been a bit, apparently, since I've used this mouse. I'm having issues with it.
I also encourage you to remember you can rouse your blood to add your blood potency to as extra dice.
Why can't I know? Oh, presence is down here, Grace, right? Yeah, okay. How many more dice can I add if I do that?
What's your blood potency? I believe it's 2.
Yeah. So just 2 more dice?
Yeah, just 2 more dice.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. Is that just another rouse check?
It is, and pass or fail, you can add those dice.
Okay. So
And you pass again.
that.
You are. Ooh, you're
Yeah.
feeling good about all this tonight. You're
Apparently I found my type.
barely even registers. So yeah.
The magic of fight or flight, I guess.
Oh, look at these.
Yeah.
numbers here. 1, 2, 3. There's 4 successes.
5. One of them's a 10.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, but one of them's a 6. Right? Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, she's rolling 5 dice against you, so you have pretty good opportunity here too. Oh God, this is me back to rolling like me. You lock eyes with Juliet, who is in charge now of the archers surrounding the rim of the pit. You can instruct her.
You don't want to do this.
What are you telling her to do?
You don't want to harm us. We need to get out of here in order to secure the future of Kindred.
For the sake of entrancement, think of a simple message.
Okay.
And that is what you're going to ask her to do something. What do you
Do not
want?
kill us. That's what I will ask. Do not kill us.
Let us out.
Then-
Let us out would be a good one.
If we get out, we're farther from Valerius than we want to be.
We're just, out of the pit. I mean, no longer surrounded by the fire, and then I can go and do my gangrel thing.
Now, in fairness, you're not surrounded by fire yet. It's just that these walls are now thick with...
It's coming.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, golly, this anvil's falling really fast towards my head, Wile E. Coyote.
And yet
Fine,
you are
let us
not-
out of the pit. Fine.
Is that the message you want to give her?
Yes.
If you tell Juliet Parr to let you out of the pit, she will, in her entranced state, make an attempt to find what they use. It's a rope ladder. She goes to grab it, and she's about to throw it over the side when one of the archers stops her. The other archer from next on the other side of her also grabs her. They recognize that she's been entranced. They're not going to let her throw the ladder.
Convenient. I didn't see that ladder when I was looking for it. Just gonna throw that out there.
You weren't looking for a ladder.
So all the bits went into convenience.
Right?
My point to the exercise being, you can entrance her. There's 12 more kindred
Right.
in the room.
But she's also in charge of these people. So if she's been told to let us out, I mean, how far would she go?
If you were playing with a bunch of humans, that might be true. They might be unaware of what's happening.
Yeah.
Kindred are not unaware of what's happening.
Fair enough.
I'm sorry that it didn't work. I'm happy that you tried.
Reading.
You have Vanyo and Julian in the other room or in the tunnels. I'm not entirely sure how quickly you were making your way for the exit.
I was making my way extremely quickly.
Where are you going?
Back the same way that we went.
Right.
And then I'm intending on going to Blackfriar, actually.
Ah. You want to find the stone.
Well, yeah.
The construction of the Blackfriar station is taking place in central London, near one of the busiest economic hubs in the city. It's a massive dig, but a great deal of it is done. Tunnels are shooting off of it. If you make it all the way to the end, you'll see the gate where you came out, looking over the Thames.
Well, Vanya will go ahead and get his coat and top hat if they're still there. Put them on.
Been unmoved.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess if Julian catches up to him, he'll do the same.
Julian, say that when you left your shadow form after sneaking into the room adjacent, you probably caught image of Vanya hightailing it for the next room, and then the tunnel, and then the next tunnel, and then all the way out. If you're following him, you're right behind him.
Well, that was certainly a thing.
Ah, Julian, I was assuming that the darkness following me was you. So now that you're not in your shadow form, I'm pleased that I was correct in this assumption. We must hurry to Blackfriar, yes?
I mean, I suppose that's if the stone's not on him, that's where I would have left it. It's the last place he was.
I was also hoping, maybe, that he left his V phone there, perhaps. If he was anticipating meeting up with us, maybe he would think that if he left it there, we could track it back and find it again. I'm not sure, but it is a long shot, but it is worth taking. It should notify us if it is there, at least.
So question that
Sure.
I asked before, but we never really got an answer about using Delve on the V phone.
What do you want it to find?
Another V phone.
Yeah. And that's definitely a use that could be used for. It's specific information that'll be returned to you.
Okay, then I will do a rouse check.
It's a use of it that I had not anticipated, so thank you.
So I bite my thumb and I pour some of the Vitae on my phone and find that fucker Dusable's phone.
After a moment, you'll get a ping on your map. It'll show you where the phone is, but your familiarity with the programming of the phone and how it works, you know that ping shouldn't be red. It should be blue.
What does red
And
mean?
Danger.
You're not entirely sure. You've never seen it ping red before.
Uh-oh.
Have I seen somebody that's dead in their V phone? Because the V phones are tied to their Vitae and he's dead.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, the phone hasn't been out that long.
Okay, well, I know where it is.
You
Excellent.
do, and it'll come back to you that's that Blackfriars station.
Looks like you were right.
We should probably hurry.
Yes.
So, if I'm correct, the Blackfriar is a hell far from where we're at, right?
Central London, and you are down at probably the southernmost bend of the Thames. North of you is the Tower Bridge and Parliament, Big Ben, then the financial district, then some of the more hoity-toity residences, and then you move eastward into the central shopping district, if you want to call it. It's a
So
London
yes.
is a happening place even in 1859.
What time of night was it again?
Here, this is
Well, look at that.
what a busy London center looks like in 1859 ish. It's real hard to be specific about the photographs.
Just say it is. No one's going to know the difference.
I there's a tinge of honesty in me. The busy London center is on foot, probably an hour away, considering the twists and turns.
What I was wondering is it too late
what
for
time?
for there to be carriages? Or
Oh my goodness.
No, it's London. It's like New York. You know, there are carriages at all hours.
well, then I'm going to
Nice.
stop a carriage and tell them that, yes, you need to take us somewhere and do my voodoo and get them to...
Sure.
Shoo.
Your voodoo is almost automatic when it comes to human beings. So if you stop a carriage, are you just stopping any random carriage?
Since you asked me that question, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do I have to choose from?
Oh,
Well,
jeez.
I'm trying to think of the carriages of London in 1859. There's the single horse-drawn, open-top kind of, Central Park version of a carriage. There's the larger, more private with doors, windows, blinds.
I'm
kind
looking
of
for
carry.
something that is going to be more industrious.
There's
like
wagons,
a delivery or something along those lines.
flat wagons with crates and barrels on them are going by at a regular clip.
Perfect. That's the one where we can get in amongst the crate and barrels and not be sticking out like sore thumbs. Perfect.
Go, Bilbo.
So,
Julian, are you joining him?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause, Vanyo's just flagging down a 2-horse drawn carriage with one driver. He does his little voodoo, and next thing you know, you're welcome to hop in the back.
Yep.
now tell him it's like, now you need to go at a pace that is fast enough to get us there quicker than normal, but not so fast that people will notice, hey, that guy's going way too fast.
Shall we say it shaves a good 40 minutes off of your journey? So you'll get there in 15 to 20 minutes roughly, depending on how close you want to come.
Perfect.
In that 15 to 20 minutes of travel, let's figure out what the kids are going to do at the bottom of the pit.
This comes down to Lilith. How far out in the limb are you willing to go for me?
Well, you guys already slept together in a sarcophagus.
Yeah, I mean,
So I'm thinking-
Context.
We need out of here. Let's do it.
All right. So this is gonna be a couple rouse checks for me. First for blood potency.
I'm feeling it. I'm feeling some goodness.
That's a pass. This is blood potency. Dice. How did 2d10s fall off the table? There we go. Okay. That's a fail, so I get a hunger. So now, Arthur's is gonna tug open his cravat and expose his jugular. If Lilith, and he's just gonna, tap the main. If Lilith wants to do a rouse check's worth of feeding off of him, she gets 2 potents and access to all my potents abilities for a
I'm
night.
sorry. Whoa.
It's called Drought of Might. You're taking some good old, gangrel creatine. You'll be fine.
There you go.
Do you remember in the original story, you were given drafts of elegance?
Yes.
There are also drafts of might and others. They don't normally come in a vial. Normally they are within the veins of another kindred.
I mean, I'm taking it.
All right.
It's wonderful.
So that's a rouse.
I may
worth.
need clarification when rolls happen.
No, it's you take the rolls are on my part.
Sure.
So now you have equivalent of 2 potents. It's half of my potence rating rounded down, so that's a nice easy 2. And you have access to lethal body and prowess, which means 2 feats of strength, prowess especially. You have feats of strength, and unarmed, and other things of physical might. You add your potence rating to that.
Lethal body alone makes you dangerous to other kindred.
Yep, it makes your damage aggravated against mortals, but against kindred it's unhalved, superficial, and it ignores armor.
Okay.
So, when you guys get back to the future, do you move in? I mean, what's the next step with that? I mean,
Now this is more up to Tony how many rouses I'm able to, how many rouses and actions I'm able to do, or
But
rather-
you're technically not in a combat situation where you're trying to act before somebody else.
Awesome.
So take your time if you need to.
So
You are alone.
I'm going
I'm
to rouse again to activate prowess. All right, that's a success. This fight or flight is now we're getting in here. Okay.
I'm getting the local notepad because there's going to be some heavy note taking here in a minute.
Yeah, honestly.
So
Just very unprepared.
so now that I'm juiced up now with my potence and my my blood potency being added to my physical dice.
Oh god.
To throw Lilith up to the lip so she can chase the quarry and get out.
What are you gonna do?
This is what I do best. I'm going to make a mess.
Can you? What about? So hang on. What does the scene look around where the ladder was? And where is the ladder in the room compared to like doors and stuff?
From your position, if you're staring straight ahead and you look up 25 feet, there's an S-shaped hallway that is the main entrance in and out of this room to the rest of the fortress.
Right.
Juliet Parr is still being restrained by two of the other guards, and she's got a rope ladder in her hand.
She has it in her hands. And is she across from the entryway? That's also
No, she's right at the entryway.
Oh, she's right at it. Oh, I'm being dumb. Not listening.
Being held by two.
All right.
So that's all right in front of you, up above you.
Okay.
Now, you have celerity, yes?
Yeah, so, I mean...
Do you have soaring leap by any chance?
No, I do not.
Well, then he does have to throw you.
Yeah,
the dwarf.
yeah. I can move real fast, but I can't do big movements.
All right. What's the pool for that?
What? How many dice are you? I mean, you activated your prowess.
I've got strength 3, prowess, so that's 7 plus potency, so that's 10 d10.
It works.
Cool. Yeah. So just by the belt is.
Lilith, the experience happens probably quicker than you imagine. But yeah, he just grabs you by your shirt and pants and boom, you'll be able to kind of land right at your chest. You know, your elbows up on the thing. One move gets you up onto that balcony area.
Can I activate fleetness? And so then I can just move and react with dizzying speed, basically.
You absolutely can.
Okay, so it's a rouse, and I succeeded. Okay. So what I would like to do is I'd like to pull the ladder from her hands and throw it down, and then get the fuck out.
When you hit the top, you've activated your dizzying speed, and you're straight upright before they even realize what has happened. Juliet is still under your command from your previous issues. She sees you there and actually pushes two of them off of her. One of them is going to fall in the pit right next to you. The other one is off balance. So we're at 11. One of them's down in the pit.
And Juliet, the Hungry Gangrel.
And Juliet is on your side. She is trying to fulfill her last command, so she's actually moving towards the edge to drop the ladder in.
Okay, all right. Then I'll just, and I'm assuming people are turning toward us. I'm gonna stay at the entry. Oh,
they're all gonna turn towards you.
Right, but I'm gonna stay at the entry until, I guess I'll grab Juliet, say come with me, and then we'll go, I suppose, if she'll come with me.
She's throwing the rope ladder in. It's going to take her a turn to do that. The rest of them around the outside of the pit are all going to take aim at you. You are moving with dizzying speed.
Right.
Like you said. When those arrows fly, you will have a moment to be able to dodge them.
The fucking Quicksilver scene from X-Men. Just
so good. So good.
So is that just Dex Athletics when
It's
to
going to be
dodge?
Dex Athletics, and most of them are going to fire at about the same time from roughly the same distance.
Right.
The angle is going to be a little weird. Are you going to try to stay in the room, or are you going to duck out of the room through that hallway?
I would like to jump into the room is what I want to do. Yeah. I don't want, or I'd like to jump into the hallway. I want to get out of the
Into
room.
the
I'm not-
hallway, get out
yeah.
of the room. Okay.
Yeah.
Then give me that Dex Athletics.
Okay. No? Oh, sure. Is my blood still roused or wait?
You're still
do-
active.
So I do still have the extra 2 dice.
Yeah, if you want.
The Drought of Might is active for the duration of the night or until you feed, whichever comes first.
Yeah,
Okay.
you get that one all night long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's 4
Four.
successes.
It was a threshold of 3 to dodge them anyway.
Okay.
The arrows will follow you to the edge as far as they can, and as long as you make that turn very quickly. They're not aiming at Juliet, they wouldn't dare. So she manages to throw the rope ladder down into the pit. Arthur, you've got one disoriented archer on his back at the bottom of the pit, and a rope ladder that's now just come down the side.
Cool. Making my way to the ladder, with just all of my yoked up creatine ferocity, I'm just gonna slam the table down on his neck.
Oh, Jesus. Definitely a melee attack.
Cool. All right, that's
I'll give him an opportunity to miss that, but
yeah. Strength melee.
yeah, strength melee. This is a big, heavy table, and you're not trying to do precision work here.
Yeah, it's if it's the neck or the head, one. All right, so that's that one's the hunger die. That's strength. Melee. Blood potency. This. All right, cool. We're getting some Garu dice pools now. All right, let's do this.
I'm hearing the sound.
I know, right?
Oh, honey, that's what I like to see. Okay. Oh, right. That's 10, 8, 6. And that's an 8 on the hunger die.
How many are we talking? What's your...
Oh, hold on. All right. So that's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 successes.
He's only got 5 dice, this poor bastard. He's going to try to dodge. Yeah, no.
And this is when the Gangrel Thug is doing Gangrel Thug things.
I just want to mention he may be alive, but the table has literally pinned him by the chest into the mud, dirt, and rock. And he's simply... He's not going anywhere.
If he wasn't now suddenly quadriplegic, he'd probably give me a thumbs up. Like, I'll stay here. And
you do have a concern though, because at least one of the archers above you saw what you just did. He's gonna knock his arrow into the fire bucket and bring it back up with a flaming tip.
Oh no.
And am I at the ladder at this point? Am I going up?
Are you running?
I think yes.
I'm gonna try Big Daddy Gangrel. I'm gonna rouse again.
What are you?
I'm gonna subsume the beast.
Wow.
Just like, stop it. So that was a success. That was an 8 to subsume or quell the beast rather.
Subsume the spirit. Quell the
Because
beast.
yeah, so right. So now that is charisma, which is not my best thing.
Against a composure?
I'm just
Or
gonna
willpower?
I'm gonna click the thing that shares it. That's not not roll. What's
The other
It's the little dice thing next to the title, correct?
Yeah, the one that.
Or display. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing.
There we
All
go.
right. All right. So that's charisma plus discipline. So that's let's make 100
Animalism, charisma, animalism versus stamina and resolve.
All right. So then that's plus the 4 for the discipline plus what potency.
Gives him 1 extra bonus.
Okay. Success on the 100 die. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7.
7.
Yep.
You are a monster.
Why haven't I been raising the blood potency all the time? Like, look, I can eat everyone now. Like, why? I should have done this forever ago. Slippery slope, but you know what? It's fast.
His beast is quelled. He isn't able to rouse himself. He's not able to put any effort or force behind it, but he is still going to fire the arrow. You've got time to get out of the pit.
Yep, I'm gonna put those long arms and legs to work and do as many rungs as I can at a time.
2 at a time for 25 feet, and the arrow is in the air as you reach the top. It'll hit the whale oil grease petroleum mixture and send fire straight up the sides. There's now a wall of fire behind you, but it's also blocking the view of the rest of the archers.
The one that was next to Juliet, he more or less recovered his
Yeah, he's
balance.
not off balance anymore. The other one that fell into the pit is.
I'm gonna change that and just bitch slap him in the ear. It's gonna teach him a lesson.
Then what? A little what is that? Dex brawl, strength brawl? Just strength brawl.
You're the storyteller. That is up to you.
Yeah, roll. Let's do the straight up strength brawl against each other.
Cool. All right.
Because this isn't one of the sledgehammer hounds. They are fighters at heart.
All right. So that's where's my brawl? There you are.
And a straight up win is a win. It'll knock the other one into the fiery pit.
So glad I rouse all these things so I can do things.
Listen to those dice.
All of those dice.
Let's okay. And this everyone's got their niche. Mine is hurting people.
Boy, and you are so good at it.
Okay, now that's a lot of tens.
Wow.
He just like his feet get left up on the top of
The boots.
Yeah.
It's like in Shrek, the knights like Sabaton's just left there. Yeah.
If you've got a number he can't reach. I mean,
Okay, so
all right, here we go. He rolled a bunch of good ones.
that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, there. That's all the dice I rolled. Okay. Wow, that's rolled 9 dice. Those were successes on all but 1, and 2 of those were 10s.
And your hunger dice were both success?
Hunger dice was a 7.
So that was.
Yes, this I make sure my hunger dice are all reddish in color.
He scored 5 successes going to try to Dex Brawl back with you, but I think you just performed a critical success. Your beast was taking no shit at all. So yes, bitch slap him back into the fire. He will fall into the pit with a scream that curdles the blood.
And just passing Juliet, he'll just Madame, and make his exit.
She's helped you escape, and her entrancement is complete. You are going to go out that hallway, and you'll be further into the castle proper. But let's go back to Vanyo and Julian.
Let's.
Good job, by the way, guys.
I was either going to just frenzy and eat myself to death, or that happened, and I'm glad that happened.
Just need a good fling.
Phrasing. Proceed.
Blackfriars is, like I said, under construction. It's not the busy London center that it is today. There are still some construction humans milling about, mortals concerned with the goings-on, but they're mainly digging the trenches going away from the station. The station itself is ahead of you. It's about 20 feet underground, following a shallow incline down through one of the tunnels.
When we get out of the wagon, Vanyo turned to Julian. You said you know where it is.
I know where it tells me it is, but before that happens, Julian remembers the warning about there being something else around here, or another hunter of the princes or whatever. So I just want to check my surroundings and see if we're actually alone.
Are you using which of your powers? Are you just
I
using?
just want to see if there's anything around.
Then just a wits awareness roll.
Four, five, six. One, two, three, 4 successes.
There we go.
You see no other kindred in the immediate vicinity. You don't notice anybody in particular. The humans aren't taking much notice of you. What you can notice is this city has a lot of those stone gargoyles on the sides of their buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And you have no way of telling which of them are real and which of them are
So
Cambridge's pets.
just carvings.
is that so? Since the unseen, dormant blood sorcery spells and other rituals might also be found using this. Whenever there's something supernatural hiding in plain sight, storyteller makes a hidden wits aspect against the difficulty they choose. If there are magical gargoyles, would Sense the Unseen help me see them?
I think they would. It's almost by definition. They turn to stone, but you should still be able to sense their inherent power.
Okay, so there's
You
two
don't know
Sense
for
the-
sure, of course, because
There's two Sense the Unseen. One is like passive, and then one's active. Passively, I haven't sensed anything using Sense the Unseen.
oh no, not in a passive sense, but we could also make that the determining factor. That it's more of an active search that would reveal something as hidden as a gargoyle.
Wits aspects. So that's 4, 5, 6.
Gargoyles don't exist in your time, which is why it makes it difficult. Oh my god.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah.
This is what I'm fucking talking about.
We're hot tonight.
There are very few actual living gargoyles left in the world, even at this point. But the one that's almost directly overhead has to be slave in his stone form.
Can I
It's
help you?
that familiar. He's, mind you, a good 40, 50 feet above you.
Is he looking at us?
He's in his stone form. He's looking straight ahead.
Do I know that if so? When gargoyles are in their stone form, do they perceive their surroundings or do they not?
You don't know for sure,
Okay.
but the way Bainbridge was talking is that's how he has eyes and ears all over the city. So
I'm just
you would
gonna stop Vanya from talking when he was asking me about the phone, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm just gonna-
you know
I'm
how
just
hard that is? I should make you roll to make Vanu stop talking.
What are you talking about?
I think Julian can make it.
Hey, thanks for liking the stream, Queen.
Oh shit, I forgot all about Twitch. Hello, Twitch. I forgot we were even playing this for an audience at this point.
That's good.
I'm gonna just put my finger up, and then I'm just gonna point subtly up at the gargoyle.
Oh, Vanya looks up at the gargoyle.
It is a frozen stone gargoyle with wings. It looks chiseled.
I don't think we have to worry about that. I don't think Bainbridge is our enemy.
Let's go.
Okay.
Inside of the dark tunnels of the London Underground, the tracks haven't even been laid yet since there's no point, but the tunnels are there, and the further you go in, the nicer the stonework on the walls gets. By the time you reach the main station, it's that familiar white porcelain subway tile. Nice rounded tunnels, perfectly shaped staircases and landings. It's ready for a subway. Julie?
What direction does it tell me to go?
Just a little bit ahead of you. And the phone is, it's still that red dot. If you follow it to its exact location, you'll probably get an idea why. And that is, there's smashed bits of plastic and electronics on the ground. Looks like it was beaten with a rock.
Well, now there is no need for that. Just simply restart it, and I'm sure it works just fine.
Just reboot.
Look at this. They're complete savages. Vanyo's gonna be on edge and looking around the further that they were going through the tunnels. And then he's also going to start looking for, if I was a stone thing, where would I be?
Roll me some wits and awareness for yourself,
Alright.
Vanya.
Let's get it.
As you admire the stonework here in the subterranean lair.
Oh, where's awareness? There it is. Okay. Get this out. Get that out of the way so the people at home don't have to look at my rolls. Here we go.
Battle of Victorian
Whoops.
London.
How do you... Oh, I need to put that that Doomaker in. I'll...
Do you want me to roll?
1d20.
Yeah, go ahead and roll it.
What? How many?
Oh, and I rolled the wrong thing anyway. Rolled D20s. 6 D10.
60-10.
There we go.
15 on a D10. What the fuck?
Vanya, looking around, you could see that the works inside the main station are almost complete. The the tile's been done, the stonework's been done, the staircase is in, the platforms are in. The writing on the walls has been already stenciled in. And at the far end of the tunnel, the far end of the platform where two tunnels seem to kind of curve off into nothingness, you'll find white subway tile. And directly in the middle, an oval, flat, almost football-shaped rock that just seems to draw your eye.
Well, I'll
You'd
go over to it.
Wait. The last time I touched a doorknob related to this son of a bitch, I ruined one of my favorite shirts. So I'm going to stand.
like-
So I'm going to stand over there. Please proceed.
I think that was Porsche that did that, but it could have been him too. I'm not sure. So Vanya will go over and he'll look at it.
It is the stone. It looks like it was hidden in plain sight. Humans certainly don't notice it. It just looks like a piece of art, something they decided to do. But if you look very, very closely, you can tell that it's just been pushed into the wall about 2 or 3 inches, about half of its actual thickness.
All right. Well, Vanya will take several strides back, and he's gonna pull out his old little magnet.
Ooh.
And get it there. Come flying
If
out
Julian's
of
watching, he gets to see a wonderful thing. And you haven't used this magnet before.
No.
The magnet that you had was softer, almost malleable. It would bend in your hand. It was very, very thin. This one is a nice, hardy piece of metal. And when you squeeze it, it doesn't go anywhere. It stays in its hardy, solid magnet form to be used again. And that's all you do. You just squeeze the magnet and put out your hand. And that rock will pop itself out of the wall and lay itself on your palm.
How
quite
big is it's? You say it's about the size of football?
Well, it's like a flat football.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's oval design, only about 4 inches thick, 3-4 inches thick.
Sort of like a serving platter.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, once I pull it out and have it in my hands, I'll turn around and go. I have it. Now where do we go now?
Well, first things first, I want to pick up the scraps of this broken phone.
That's all they are, scraps. I mean,
There was enough for me to find it.
there was, but you also found it with a red dot. And the red dot could mean that the user is no longer, or it could just mean that the phone is no longer.
Yeah, well, I'll leave it to people smarter than me to figure that out. And the stone, there was also a sarcophagus, right? And a pillar that the portal connected to. Do we know where that is?
You have seen no such sarcophagus.
I think when all else fails, I'd really like to speak to this seer. I haven't been able to be properly introduced yet.
This is a good idea. Let's go to the seer. We'll have to go back to... Because when we were taken to the seer the first time, Bainbridge is the one who took us.
He was.
Now, I doubt that Vanya is going to remember how to get there. Or would he? How likely? Because he would have tried to keep track of it, of course, but I am also in a completely foreign city, and we didn't go, like, down the street, turn left, and, well, there it is. If I
Also, the Salubri has a library that exists in a more metaphysical dimension than this one. Finding her isn't so much a matter of going back to the same place that she was, something that you learned back in Chicago, at least the rest of the coterie had learned, when they tried to find her again in the sewers. But you might have another alternative option for finding her.
Could ask Bainbridge.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, Bainbridge is the one who knows where she's at.
Luckily, we know just how to reach him.
I think he already knows. Maybe we should head directly for the graveyard.
I'd rather save time. He might know that we're here, but he won't know that we want to talk to the seer.
Fair enough. I'm just worried. There's other vampires coming here as we speak. Is the only
Agreed.
concern.
Agreed. Do you think that going to the graveyard is going to make it more or less likely that we'll run into them?
Depends on how much of a head start we have. But the gargoyle is already here.
The gargoyle is on top of a building outside, about a block away from where you are. You guys have progressed, into the construction site far enough that you are well underground at this point.
We could hurry back to that building then.
You could. It's about 4 a.m., so you're running out of nighttime pretty quickly.
The other option is to go back to the asylum.
This is true. To tell you the truth, I would feel more comfortable if we would go back to the asylum tonight. And then seek Bainbridge later.
Okay.
It's a little bit too close to the sun rising, and with all this activity that could endanger us and delay us.
Don't worry. Your fears are safe with me.
I should go see Justified.
We can make our way.
If you do the same technique where you try to flag down a passing mortal carriage and entrance them to take you where you're going to go, Fountain Dyke is outside of the asylum in his little courtyard, far on the east side of London. It will take you the rest of the darkness to get there.
Well, once we get there, he says that we have room, that we could stay there.
He does. He's got a padded cell for you for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sounds about right. Just for posterity, I will take a selfie, which I don't even know if anything will show up, of me in the room, and I'll send it to Lilith and Arthur. Hope all's well on your end.
Your phone takes your photo completely
That's fine.
every time.
It's just going to be a thumbs up. Actually, I'm going to ask for the stone.
I'll let him have it.
Hope all is well in your end.
Stone is in the picture too. Then.
Okay.
And we'll follow that picture across town to the bowels of the Tower of London, where Lilith and Arthur have just escaped a flaming pit and left behind 10 or so remaining archers. How are you feeling?
A little bit adrenaline rush.
And you still are packing a wallet from, the gift that Arthur gave you.
Thanks for liking the stream, Robert.
Can I use premonition at all to tell if Valerius is still here?
You can. Is there a role for that, or is premonition just one of those things?
Yeah.
I think it depends. Yeah, it depends.
If you're starting the premonition, then it's a rouse check and a roll with aspects and resolve and aspects.
Resolve it on the spells. That's right.
So rouse. Jesus.
There, another well done. Not hungry at all.
I don't know how that's
Define the
possible.
conventions of this game, really.
All right.
You can imagine this is a very low threshold of knowledge.
Okay.
And it looks like, wowza. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will do. He's definitely here. In fact, if you were thinking of the map with the barracks on the tower, this one here. You get the impression that while you are now somewhere under here, just adjacent to the White Tower, but far underground,
Yeah.
he's over here, under these Waterloo barracks, or maybe even up in them.
Yeah.
Just north and up.
I mean, I did nick him with the stake, didn't I? Do I see any of his vitae anywhere?
You weren't looking for it. It would have been in the other room, but you did. You did a couple of real points of damage to him. He had to pull a wooden stake out of his shoulder. He was bleeding. His suit was ripped. And nobody likes that. It may be why.
I'm going to turn to Arthur. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's probably why he's only gone as far as the barracks.
Uh-oh.
Right.
I hear somebody crying.
Yeah.
Do we have puppy sign? We have puppy sign.
I'm going to turn to Arthur and say, where do we go from here? I think we need Valerius's blood to open this portal. I don't see another way back to Chicago.
Moose.
As she kicks a can.
Bring us Moose.
Precious fullness.
Oh yes, that's pencil. What's she doing?
I would hate to come back here again, so we might as well grab him when we know where he is. That was a glorious up close to that dog.
Yep.
Lord.
Puppy.
Praise be.
Yes.
Now,
Then I think we need to take this opportunity.
let's go visit him where he sleeps.
And then I'll let him know that I had a premonition he's in the barracks. What?
And yeah, let's go beat up an old man.
You know, that's harder and harder to do in Vampire than.
And you know, maybe it's just the high of rolling a 10d10 dice pool. But you know what? I'm punch drunk, and I'm gonna ride that high.
You don't have to kill him. You just got to get some blood.
Gotta get some blood.
Are there in that back room? You know, that was their main force. You're not going to see much resistance on the way. You are going to see a couple of guards.
Shoot.
Okay.
And you are going to have to cross the actual parade grounds there. You can come up.
I mean, I can.
here.
Where? Sorry.
Fog on
Right
the
about
wall.
here, you'll come up
Okay.
to the right of where it says Beauchamp.
Okay.
And then the main entrance to the barracks is here, just north and a little bit east. There are 2 guards that make the rounds around the White Tower.
I have played enough Splinter Cell. I know how this works. Just wait for them to go on their NPC like programmed rail track and
Right.
go when they're on the far side. Is there like their passage audible? Like I'm presuming like weather beaten granite. Can like Arthur or Lilith hear like the scuffing of their boots?
I mean, I could use heightened senses.
You can. It's a very large open ground inside, bigger than a couple of football fields. But with heightened senses, you can keep track of where they are. They're murmuring some bullshit conversation back and forth between each other.
Yep.
They're not very attentive, but they'll notice if you do something noisy, aggressive,
And just wait in a crouch for let's go ahead when they're at the probably the distant the far cusp of whatever her heightened sense range is. Because if she has a hard time hearing them, they'll have a hard time hearing or seeing us, presumably. And then make the crossing then.
And I'd let him go first, and then
Yeah, you're Speedy Gonzalez, so
I can just blink across.
Yeah, achoo! Oh, I'm over here.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So once I get the A-OK thumbs up, whatever.
Right.
I'll start lumbering my way across to the Waterloo barracks.
To the main door, it's not just 15 feet. That's how the arrow was showing me. It's more like 80 yards. It's in the wide open. You don't see anybody else. There are mortal ghouls here. They're sort of the day squad, if you will.
Oh, they're coming in for the end of the graveyard shift. Okay.
They'll be waking soon because they need to be up just before the dawn because they're aware of who they work for.
Right.
You could figure the same number as were down in the pit. If there were a dozen archers, there'll be a dozen ghouls getting ready to rise.
Clever. Okay.
When you open the front door to the barracks, you'll see to the right and to the left, immediately when you come in, those are where their beds are stacked.
Bunks?
No, there's only 6 to a side, and it's pretty long.
Oh, stacked is okay.
Yeah, not up and down, just in a row.
Not bunk beds.
Not bunk. Yeah, stacked is the wrong one. But yeah,
I would prefer if they were bunk beds.
A really long steak. You just
I mean, do we see any of his blood here? Like he's stopped somewhere to rest once he made it here, or anything like that? Do we see where he would have gone?
You don't. He is, for all intents and purposes, a king amongst his people. You could take that to mean he's in either the most secure place or the most exalted.
He's an exalted kind of guy.
Then he's probably up on the 3rd floor. If the ghouls are down here.
Yeah.
do they have a door or grate to the stairwell that winds up, or?
The main hallway here, the 2 rooms to either side of you don't have doors going into them, but they just look like barracks rooms. Ahead of you is a grand staircase taking you up to the 2nd floor, and it looks like the staircase continues to the 3rd floor from there.
I'm presuming these ghouls are in some manner of uniform, if they're meant to be the day staff.
Right. Some sleep in their uniform so that they can just get up and get at it. Others are, in just their underwear. But all of them have footlockers, weapons by their bedside.
All right, I think I'm gonna have to take her out, but I'll keep listening.
Release me!
I know.
Better that than the alternative.
Right.
Then, yeah, slow and steady. Arthur will walk the divide.
As
Probably
long
like-
as you don't make any noise, you'll be fine here.
Yeah, he's primarily he's just like keeping an eye out if because he got a good enough look at the guy for a familiar face. If he's just trying to like blend in with the chaff, but if you don't see any familiar face or a puckering wound in the
Not these guys. And
then-
you'd notice some blood.
yeah, then we're gonna lead the way up.
The second floor is laid out very similar to the first floor, only with a little bit more luxury. There are now 6 individual rooms on each side of the stairwell on this floor. The rooms have doors, windows that look like they're blacked out as near as you can tell. It looks, if you were putting your mind to it, this is probably where the Kindred soldiers make their day. The doors of each of these individual rooms, most of them are closed.
Most.
You assume that they're empty because all the rest of them were downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, do we see like a closet or anything where if it is dark or if the sun starts coming up, we'd be able to dart into it?
Any one of these rooms on this floor look like they are appropriate for Kindred daytime torpor.
Okay. Is there like a double manned one? Just kidding.
What you
A
What you
meme now.
expect is these are the 12 Kindred that you saw in the basement.
There's
You
at
know-
least a couple vacancies now. So.
Exactly. At least a couple of them aren't coming back. You don't know which ones.
Right.
It's a good
Do we
question.
hear
Mace.
anything?
Why would you?
Do I hear like Valerius upstairs?
You hear some snoring downstairs, but if you activate your sensitive hearing, you'll hear some mumbling upstairs. A conversation.
A little convo. And I can't make anything out.
Not quite. Some of it is in English.
That's
You're-
curious.
You're hearing things like Latin, maybe Spanish. Was that Italian? Not sure.
Yeah, I don't know who that could be. Do you, Arthur?
I did not know the man, but let's go make ourselves know we are in his house. Let's go crash the party.
Yes,
If you
we could
move
do.
quietly to the 3rd floor, you'll see 2 rooms, one to the right and one to the left. Both have doors, double doors. Both are closed. Lilith, the noise you heard was coming out of the door to your left.
Okay. And now that we're up here, I mean, we still can't really make much out. Does it sound like they're doing some sort of ritual?
Now that you're on the same floor and you could put your ear right up to the door, this sounds like a man talking to himself. He's mumbling. Gravelly voice, things like this, and then every now and then he'll slip into some ite satumas, ite duramel banine dominus e pluribus. That kind of Latin.
Okay.
Maybe he's reading, maybe he's dictating, maybe he's writing.
I'm getting flashbacks to the L.
Yeah.
Valerius is a Ventru.
And you know what?
But
that
you're not gonna trust
yeah, the
any-
little leaky brain like Mickey or whatever's fuck was. He also like one of his personalities was also definitely not Malkavian. So, be that what it is.
Yeah, there you go.
that is the excellent story of Evan Klein becoming Frank Dogan,
Yeah,
who was eventually promoted back into his position, even though he's been dead for years.
yeah. That's just goes to prove that, you know, Lovecraft was right. Insanity can be a superpower sometimes. And it was just like that door, that one, and like the Kool-Aid Man, I'm gonna make a dynamic entry.
Oh, jeez.
Oh no! Oh yeah!
It's like, Dios mío, there is no Dios here, only me.
You can kick open the doors if you so choose.
Yeah, you know, yeah. Because to say that discretion is the finer part of valor, but there's very few things that are very fine about Arthur Voland, and that's the
And
who knows?
Discreet.
And maybe it's dead bolted, in which case, oh no. I'm not gonna take that chance. And if he is doing a blood ritual, double fuck that. No.
You open the double doors to find Valerius sitting at a desk by candlelight, actually, with a quill pen, murmuring to himself and writing. It's in
Okay.
Latin.
Oh, memoirs, huh? How much of a
Expected that the pit would not hold you.
man? Expect the unexpected. But
Can I assume that he knows the theoretical story of the gangrel? Like, if I were to tell him, you know who we come from, would he understand what that means?
Who are you talking about, Valerius?
Yeah. If he'd know, like, Lilith and her, like, the offshoot of her. And Anoia, is that how you say it?
Manoia, yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Whether Valerius knows anything of Anoia or whether he even believes it, it's not his clan or his
Fair enough.
thing. It wouldn't have an emotional impact with him if that's what you're looking for.
Yeah.
Although Arthur should have an opinion about Anoia.
I mean,
Do you?
Yeah.
Who is the gang? We'll just kind of delve into this here for a moment. Who do you think the gangrel originator is?
Arthur would have a much stronger feeling and opinion about it if he'd been having nightmares, I imagine. But he hasn't.
Not having the nightmares is kind of
It's like, yeah, it's just like, you know, the god or goddess of empty places. And the empty places being the days in which I sleep peacefully.
it is a mixed blessing not having those nightmares.
And whether Anoia is dead or I have fallen out of the good graces or it is all a big bunch of malarkey.
Lilith happens to have Anoia popping up in her recurring visions.
Huh.
A relation
yeah.
of Lilith, the greater, the originator. A daughter. The founder of the werewolf, and then the originator of the gangrel. You and Lilith may be closer than you think. Sharing a sarcophagus certainly helped. You're familiar enough with each other to toss the dwarf.
Can you have to toss me? Well,
It's an odd moment for this to come up, but as you're
It's-
staring at Valerius, and Valerius is a little nonplussed with you. He's didn't expect you, but he's also not reacting. He's waiting to reply.
Well, if he's nonplussed, we'll get really plussed. Because this by candlelight, yeah.
He is just writing with a quill.
Is it like in like those like nice blown glass like lamp, or it's just like a rock?
It's
Rock.
hurricane lamp. Yes.
Yep.
kind of.
It's gonna. I'm just gonna.
What?
I guess he's gonna-
I'm taking the candle and just like. Eh.
petulant.
I have many things. There's definitely one of them.
What is it that you want?
I would like for you to come with me peacefully. If you don't, then that is more fun for me.
Yes, so you think. Why would I go with you? What purpose do you need me for?
Is he still bleeding?
No, he's dressed his wound. He's in a different shirt. He looks like he's actually aroused himself to heal the damage that you've done.
Can't just like can't quite CIA black side him yet, but hey, we would like to return home, and you are the key to that. Think of it not so much a hostage situation as a donation from your generous coffers.
Tell me why.
Why we wish to return home?
No, why you need me to return you home. I don't understand.
Home is out of place and out of time. And you are not so much you, but that which flows in you is the key. And being a gentleman of fine breeding, I prefer you give that, willingly. Doesn't have to be taken. Then, once you give willingly, we are forever gone and out of your hair. We are no longer your problem. We are the problem of those in our own space.
He's going to lock eyes with you and compel you to tell him. 1, 2, 3. Well, that's only 4 successes.
And that's against my what?
I believe it's your composure. Where's my thing here? Oh, on the wrong sheet. I think it's composure resolve.
So it's against my willpower then.
Yeah. Beat a 4.
4 on 5 dice.
Don't forget willpower.
Oh, right. So that's. And I will spend a willpower on that because that's 3. That's a 10 and a 6. I just need 1 more. Okay, that's an 8 and a 9. That is though a failure on the hunger die. So that's 3, 4.
But you
5,
still succeeded on the
7.
roll. So don't worry
So
about
6. Ouch. Okay.
He will then lock eyes with you, attempt to command you, but he will ask you this question. Why do you come to me now? You can choose not to answer it.
Is
He can't compel you. You've beat his roll.
Arthur, there's no point in really lying. Is that You were, in all honesty, a pain in the ass to get to. You being here was a happy accident. We are here for Dusable.
Yes. I've spoken to Horace Holden. I've spoken to General Halesworth. I've spoken to Juliet Parr. I've spoken to Lenoir. I've even spoken to Halen Bay about you. And the thing is, I believe you. I believe you came from another time. It vexes me that you did this.
And the perpetrator of this terrible happenstance is you're familiar with the guillotine. It is a quicker death than he deserved, believe you me. But I did not wish for things to get so messy or complex. They just happened to be that way because people here were very difficult to deal with. We did our best to be.
You brought chaos and destruction and death to my city. You've increased the mortality rate amongst kindred in this city. We have not experienced so much death, final death, since you've been here.
And yet, if the general did not try and assassinate us, were arrested under good faith, under hospitality, it would not have been so.
He was acting under my orders to arrest you.
And so we see cause and effect. I understand you are worried for your domain, but you know your fair share of gangrel, but you have known very few gangrel like me.
Gangrel, I
Animals.
do not worry for my domain. It vexes me that you traveled through time to gather my blood, because that means I do not exist when you came from.
Even the eternal, at some point, is eroded away.
Yes.
Not every man is a pyramid.
And if I were from the future, I would go to the last time I knew I could meet that man. Tell me true, Gangrel. When do I die?
I am not a scholar. I do not know.
But you need to come seek me here, now.
Dusable did. And we followed Dusable. The man who had the answers you seek. You have removed his ability to speak. I simply wish to go home to my dog.
What would you have me do?
I would have you
come to my city. You've betrayed the Masquerade. You've broken several tenants. You've left body after body in your wake. You've burned legacy properties to the ground. You've betrayed trust. You've tried to insinuate violence in my city amongst ourselves. No, Gangrel, there will be consequences this time.
Yeah.
But as for what you need, if I no longer live in your time, then I do not care if Menelaus rises and destroys your city. So I'm going to do two things for you, Gangrel. He reaches onto his desk and he pulls back a brass weird-looking instrument. Bainbridge had told you that vitae of particular quality doesn't last in a simple vial. It needs a reliquary. He jams himself in the arm and fills this reliquary with a sampling of his blood, his vitae, his power and essence. He holds it in his hand for you to take. You can take this. I'll lower the drawbridge, and you can go complete your task.
And
there will be consequences.
Arthur's hand will hover over the reliquary.
Part brass, part glass, part needle, part something else that looks like it's possibly ruined. It's special.
Do not like a blank check. I have been honest with you, even when you tried to get inside my head.
I didn't try very hard.
And yet, consequences.
Nearly 1,000 years I've walked the earth. 1,000. If you were to live from now until your time and take the slow route back around, would you be 1,000 years old?
I would not.
No. I'm tired, Gangrel. And I know you're here because this has to be close to my end.
And so what would happen then when you end?
Was hoping you could tell me.
Arthur will take the reliquary and pass it to Lilith.
I'll take it and put it in a pocket.
The gate will be lowered. Your friends are probably already at Blackfriar. You have little time to get there, or get to ground. Leave my city, yes? That's what this is for, correct?
Yeah.
Go now.
I do.
He's good to his word. You leave the building, cross the parade grounds. The gigantic drawbridge opens and lowers over the moat. There's a single road, leads sort of east and west, just crossing in front. What would you like to do?
Rendezvous if we can.
You had
what
gotten
what time would
the phone. She's going to take Moose out again. If you contact the others, or if they had let you know, they're on their way to see Fountain Dyke and take him up on his offer of someplace safe to stay. It's about as far as you can go from where you are and still be in London.
Would we be able to get there in time? Estimated?
This is sort of a scene that runs concurrent with the other scene, so I'd say you still have a couple of hours to get there. With a carriage ride, it should be fine. You wouldn't.
Yeah.
And we can't. Well, Lilith might be able to whammy them with.
Yeah, yeah, I can do that. I'll entrance them and which is arouse. But on the way over there, I'm going to ask, and I still made it, Arthur, if we're gonna tell them that we have the blood.
Wait, yes, this would be a good idea. I'll just send over a text. It's just, like, we have the goods.
Right.
Like, I don't know, like, there's, like, they have, like, this syringe emoji.
All right, now I'll be back.
You know what? As long as she's running out, it's a good time to take a break. What do you think? It's about quarter till. Let's take a 10, 15 minute, whatever we're going to need to get her back from taking Moose out. Everybody grab a drink. Something else. We'll come back.
And don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
Be right back.
Come back to the exciting conclusion of this episode.
Hey, I'm not saying I'm terrified, but...
And we're back.
Oh, you didn't run the.
Oh no! Hold on, I'm gonna run it again. Hold on,
Run.
just hold on.
No, you don't have to.
No, I'm
You don't-
doing it. Because
You don't like it.
I did it, and I'm
But
not
you
gonna.
did.
There it is,
Hello,
and I'm not
mates.
I'm not muting it while this is going on.
Welcome to London.
It's like, yeah,
The
the
reason I run it all the time is because this is my little.
Run for your lives.
represent the creators. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Okay, now we're back. There you go, guys.
I had, we had to wait until the second week to start running that because I didn't want to give you the tip off in the first episode that it was all going to be set in the past.
Oh, I see. There you go.
So the first episode, you pulled Welcome to Chicago opening now. Now look where we are.
No.
And where the hell are we? I'm going to assume that you made it all the way back to Fountain Dyke at the London Asylum. Why not? Deep in the
Please
heart
and
of
thank
the
you.
sprawling asylum is a four-walled courtyard with one door in and out. It's where Fountain Dyke makes his home. Calls it the outside of the asylum. Because clearly the rest of the world is insane. Except for this one Malkavian. He gave you rooms for the night. They were literally just padded cells in the basement, but he was kind enough not to lock the doors to make you feel more comfortable. You'll sleep comfortably for the night, or for the day, I should say, and rise the next night. Let's all do your rouse checks and see how you're feeling about your hunger.
Yeah,
See if your dice rolling is still as good as it's been from the first
No.
time.
It's all downhill from
All
here.
down.
Yeah.
Or not. That's
Ooh,
an
I'm
8.
good.
Hooray!
I need to eat. I'm very hungry.
What is your hunger at now, Liv?
A 4.
You are
Ooh.
You. Did you subtract yourself down from 1 when you drank from
Oh
Arthur?
no, you're right. You're right. So I'm at 3. I'm sitting at 3.
it's not as bad as 4, but 3, you still feel hungry.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
You want
Yeah, right.
You want some
For
more
what?
creatine?
Take another hit of that, sure.
Wow.
First one's free.
And it makes you like him just a little bit more.
Yeah.
But the more you taste, the,
I'll need to rouse that first.
No.
In cereal. Okay.
No.
Listen.
No. He offered it to didn't oh gosh, Fountain Dyke offer food for us last time we were here?
he did. I don't believe anybody took him up on it.
No, but I'd go visit him again and see what.
If you visit Fountain Dyke outside of the asylum, he'll take you to a particular wing. It's where he likes to go. It's a private wing. The doors are all wide open on the cells, but they are the extreme nut jobs of the asylum. These are the wackiest skiddly-doos you have ever seen in your life.
Skiddly-doo.
It would be inappropriate in the modern era to make fun of the mental trauma and illness that is accompanied in here. But since we're in 1859, these wackadoos are just off their minds crazy. Painting the walls in feces and blood. And
Wow, that's
Don't
fun.
choose that guy.
Right?
you can take your pick over which of these. These are Fountain Dyke's favorites. For obvious reasons.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably maybe I don't know. I'd look at one who's maybe sitting by themselves and see what happens.
You're a seductress, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. And I feel really weird about that right now.
This is a game of horror.
I'm a figment of your imagination.
I can be a succubus. That's fine.
Roll the dice that you roll for your feeding, and this will determine basically just how easily or how awkwardly you manage to feed here.
Oh gosh, it's been so long. What do I even roll?
It's above your blood potency on that page.
Oh, okay. Charismas. Okay. Okay. Here we go.
My.
So I'm a part of his delusion.
4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, Lily. Out of this mess of insanity, off of these dirty, crazy, absolutely insane people, you do find one that is meticulously dressed, more of a quiet type. He's just huddled together in a corner. He's more of a Rain Man. He smiles. He listens to what you have to say. And he seems entranced by you.
And I'll go ahead and start feeding on him in front of everyone. I am not going to slake all of my hunger, just down to 1 dot.
In this particular wing, things like this happen all the time. Rain Man here is happy for the attention, happy to have a conversation, happy to have the contact with another being. You are less hungry. And you can get the hell out of here at any point.
Yeah, and I'm like shuddering and wiping myself off.
And Fountain Dyke is, well, was it everything I told you it would be?
Oh, and more. Don't worry about it.
I hope you feel better.
I can see physics.
You have, as a group, now come together in the courtyard here with the stone and a reliquary containing Valerius's blood and an ominous warning that it will come with consequences. Where are we going? What are we doing?
I don't know.
Going home, Marty.
Yeah, I mean, I want to get the hell out of here, and this is how I'm aware to do it.
Now, I'm trying to remember back. Was there any sort of specific instructions from the soliloquy? Salubri? Yeah. About what we needed to do? I don't recall there being any. We just put the blood on the stone and away we go, sort of thing. But my friends, I am very worried here. Of course, we were told that if we take the blood and put it on the stone, this is how it would get us back. But also at the same time, putting the blood on the stone is one step closer to letting a Methuselah out to wreak havoc everywhere. And supposedly this creature is here in London at this time as well, correct? Or at least one, hidden away. I think we should try and find a little more clarification as far as what we should do at this point in time. Maybe we should go back and talk again to the soliloquy, and he's saying it on purpose that way now, because that's the way he's interpreting it with his English.
we dial, it's in code number 3, area code 333, and then 333 3333, and just it's obviously their hotline, right?
Gotta be.
Not to mention our friend Julian here has not met with the soliloquy, and perhaps he would wish to do so.
I Yeah, I mean, I guess if we're not gonna put the blood on the stone right now, then we need more information.
I guess we go seek the seers and the weavers of bullshit.
I don't think it would be wise to say that in front of her, though.
I don't think it would matter if I did. They can apparently see everything. So they can see this.
That's even worse, my friend.
What's she going to do? Blink at me 3 times?
Yes, now I'm very clear. Yes, we should probably go to seek Bainbridge. What do you think, Julie?
I'm just along for the ride.
This
Who
is
are you?
very
What's
hard
it,
for me.
Julian?
Julian had spotted Slave the Gargoyle near Blackfriars the night before. If you were going to contact Bainbridge, it would probably be just whispering a message to that rock statue.
Hey, asshole!
Whatever message that may be.
All right, well, I guess we can... But there's no guarantee he's going to be in the same place. Matter of fact, I wouldn't think that he would be in the same place again. I say should go probably to the graveyard and just call out for Bainbridge like we did before, because going to the university is not a guarantee we're going to find him.
I've never been there, so however you guys think is the best way to arrive.
Let us go to the graveyard. Do as we did last time when we got in contact with Bainbridge.
Are you all in agreement that you should try to make your way back to that old graveyard?
I think it seems to be the best first step.
Let's go back to the map of London, get a better idea of where we're talking about. You're over in the far east of the city. You can picture yourself being maybe even right about there, if you can see that.
No, that's off of the map.
Yeah, it's pretty far away.
Yeah, not for us. Those at home can't see it, though.
But the cemetery was just north of the Ruptured Duck, about there, which is more center of the map. You can, of course, do your trick with taking a cab or a carriage,
Of course.
flat truck, whatever. Or, Fountain Dyke would offer you an opportunity.
Yeah.
You know, we have world exhibitions here. They bring us the funny things from all over the place. This is French. And he points to the other corner of the interior courtyard. And there's a gigantic hot air balloon.
Oh, hell no.
Blue.
No,
and it's
no,
with
Tony,
gold
it's not going to work. We're not getting in that fucking thing.
It'll
Here we've got Will, Tony, no, me, Tony, yes!
I don't know if I can get you right where you're going, but I can get you close, I suppose. It'll be lots of fun.
It is French. It is more reliable than it has more flavor than the bland meat pies.
No.
Well, just an option.
when has the French ever led you wrong, my dear friend?
I think the date is 1042. I could be wrong.
Yep, let's do it.
Wait a minute, what was that?
Julie wants to take the balloon.
Listen, it's the closest thing he's gonna get to a helicopter in this day and age. Just let him have this.
He looks at Lilith and goes, "And what do you think?"
I'm not getting up in the fucking air with fire above me. Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Wolf Squatch, love you, but also like, no. How many bits to get you in that balloon? That's a death trap. I only say this because you're my friend, Wolf Squatch. But I was gonna get in it anyway, because as I've bought into the Church of Julian Black. This doesn't matter. Let's do it.
Well, if everybody's not going to go, then there's no point. So we might as well just.
I was looking for consensus myself. We'll hold 4 of you.
Yeah. So we'll find another way. Thank you very much for your offer.
Next time, this looks to be a joy, I am sure.
They're all like, how many to get us into the balloon?
Yeah, really wants to know. I think this is going to be a land journey. It'll take you a little bit longer. You can take a carriage. You can disappoint your audience. It's fine.
Is that supposed to be a what?
I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life, Bubby, but it's your choice. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
If you go by land, which is fine, I get it. No judgments. We need to find the.
Now, did you tell us what Valerius had said? Now, before we continue on,
Yes, Arthur would have shared as much information as he would have remembered, which would have been like a solid 95% accurate.
okay.
You got the brush strokes, the big strokes.
So
Yeah.
the stroke that I'm wanting to make sure that Vanyo had heard was that there will be consequences.
Oh, that's yeah. That is that is at 90% of that 95% for sure.
You
Now,
don't gloss it.
my first instinct was hell no. But a little something crept up from the back of my head to the front. There will be consequences, which means that the prince's people will be all about looking for us.
This
What better way to circumnavigate them than to just go up into the air and go to where we need to go? I'm thinking now.
You don't think that they're gonna notice a hot air balloon above the city?
It's nighttime. There's not. No, of course they're not going to notice.
There's fire.
It's a little. I think, Lilith, you know I wouldn't steer you wrong. I think this is a good something that we should probably do.
God. You're fucking.
I mean, if Arthur wants to do it, Julian's on the fence.
No, Julian wants to do it.
It's
Yeah, he's the.
I mean,
Arthur
I'm
go
not.
for it.
I can't.
I think, unfortunately, Lilith, you're outvoted. But I would like you to feel confident in coming with this. Fountain Dyke here seems very capable. He says it's French.
It is. I bought it from a Frenchman.
Well, there
Let's
you go.
just get in.
Oh
It is a
God.
4 foot by 4 foot, 16 square foot wicker basket, about 4 foot high on the walls, with supports going up to a oddly thin blue and gold balloon with a little net wrapped around it that holds it to the basket below. There is fire. It's above you, and you control it with a little burst of jet. First you got to get fire started, but Fountain Dyke will take care of that for you. He'll show you the controls up and down. If you go too high, the winds will catch you. But if you stay low enough, just over the treetops, you'll be fine.
He's not going to drive it for us?
Oh no, he's never been up in it.
Neither have we.
He doesn't know.
Well, that
and
changes things a little bit.
thank you, Will. You're the Peregrine Toque that we all need and deserve. Okay, let's do it. The further you are from danger, or the closer you are to danger, the farther you are from harm. Right? Let's do it.
Exactly.
Somebody roll a D100. My number is 50. Get closest to 50. And whether you go over or under, we'll figure out where you end up.
59.
59?
There you go. Yeah, that's good.
Are you kidding me?
Trust me. I am surprised as you. Whenever I'm rolling in Call of Cthulhu, it's always the exact. It is always like, I heard you wanted your gun to jam, so that's what's gonna happen.
I did not anticipate you coming in within 10 points of 50.
Neither did I. I was expecting like a 1 or a 100, somewhere around there. That's usually my relationship with a D100.
Well, so much for that. You're going to take this hot air balloon into the air like an old pro.
I am French. I understand how this works.
It must be the cultural thing. You take it up over the top of the asylum. You coast out over the treetops. The wind is blowing you in a nice kind of westerly, northwesterly direction. You're heading right towards the cemetery. A break in the fog lets you see it in advance, and you start to descend. With that roll, you're going to hit the ground. The basket will tumble once and just kind of drop you on your side.
It's
But you'll
Tokyo
be
Drift in. Yeah.
just outside the gates at the rear of the cemetery. An amazing job. And here you all thought it was going to catch fire. and burn.
Congratulations, Arthur. You doing a great job.
It tipped over at the end. That was about it.
I must admit, I am completely surprised.
Yes, honestly, so am I. But hey, must be the good vibes from chat, huh?
So,
The cemetery is there, foggy as you remember it. That break in the fog that let you see it as you were approaching is now thick as pea soup again.
Delicious.
You don't see anyone around. But the last time you were here, you didn't either.
Vanya will just go walking in. Slave! My friend! Bainbridge creature!
It doesn't take long. You'll hear the familiar, leathery, powerful wings of a gargoyle holding a lantern as it comes down and plops itself nearby.
Can't see the picture.
Oh,
Gotta put it more center.
I like putting it over on top of the.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
Move your thing.
I can't move it that far to the right. I've told you.
Stop fighting!
What? You still here?
Ah, Slave, it's very good to see you again.
Heard you gone.
Not quite yet. Did you get all the information you needed the other night from us?
I hear all.
I know. We need to speak with your master.
I don't know.
Oh, of course he wants to speak with us again. We're the most interesting thing in town.
You're supposed to be gone.
This is what we need to talk to him for. To make sure to... What's the word? To hurry up. I guess to hurry up. For us to leave.
Valerius, say you gone. Valerius, make many mad when say you gone.
Yes. Now we're talking in squares. Is that it? No, circles.
With a whoosh, he'll leap off the ground and vanish.
Bainbridge will be here soon. But just in
Great.
case, we should probably be ready for Bainbridge to come with maybe some extra fellas or something. You know. Maybe. You never know.
It won't take too long. But he'll walk out of the fog, shaking his head.
My friend.
Valerius announced his intentions. You're supposed to be Gaul.
Yes, but that's why we're here, my friend.
What?
Now, before we get started into in-depth conversation about this, I just want to point out some facts. Maybe it will help you to make your decisions.
He slides his glasses down his nose and looks you over.
Now, Valerius says we are going to be gone. Valerius also, he believes what we are saying. The prince, your prince, thinks that what we are trying to do and what we've been saying all along is the truth. Now we have gotten what we needed to get since we are here. We just want to make sure that we can get away proper and leave you all to your city.
Speak plainly, Russian. What do you want?
I'm Georgian, man. It's simple, really. Who's got the stone?
One of you.
I gave it. I was going to say because I gave it to Julian and I never asked for it back. The stone that we are going to use, that will help us to depart and go back to where we need to go, is also the same device which can rouse up one of these Methuselahs. One that is known to be here in the city. We don't want to, what's the term? Fuck it up. And by accident, some sort of way, something happens. So, what we would like to do again is talk to the soliloquy. Or maybe you know.
Again.
Well, for the first time, really.
Well, for Julian, yeah.
A meeting with the Salubri is usually just a once-in-a-lifetime thing.
Hey, so now you get to see something out of the ordinary.
But you are right. She didn't speak to you, did she?
That is correct.
This goes against my better judgment, but I'll take you to it. This better be the end of it. I want you out of my city.
Of course.
Like Pontius Pilate, you can wash your hands of us.
If you are here at the next nightfall, I will have slave tear you to pieces, limb by limb.
If we're still here, you're welcome to try.
He'll call for a carriage. Bainbridge seems to be prepared. A quick snap, and within a couple of minutes, you'll hear the trotting hoof steps of a horse and the rolling wheels of a buggy. He considers, Julian, that you haven't been, so he invites you to join him.
Okay.
I don't know if she'll see the rest of you.
The vial?
What?
The vial.
The reliquary.
Wait, what?
Vanya will get into the carriage. I
The
can
vial
wait
of
outside.
blood. The vial of blood. The reliquary.
I'm sorry, you're trying to take this into the Salubri by yourself.
That is correct.
What? And then leave us behind without
Sure.
even a thought?
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing. Can we skip this? I'm bored of
Why
you.
do you need it then?
In
why do you
case
want
I need
it?
it for the conversation.
If you
Oh,
need it for the
God.
conversation, I'll be there.
All right, we'll all go. Bainbridge is just ready to beat his head against
I
his
don't
horse.
think there's anything to worry about, Lilith.
It's she doesn't know any other way. Let's just go.
The horse will drive into the city, pulling the carriage. All these places I hadn't anticipated coming back to. Let's
Just another guy named Harry just followed us. Thank you, just another guy named Harry. We appreciate that.
Hey, excellent.
We could just call him Harry, couldn't we?
Yeah, I had
Thanks,
to read
Harry.
the entire name, though. That's...
Thanks, Harry. You're a wizard. Anyways,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
The carriage is a little tight with all 5 of you. Bainbridge and the 4 of the coterie. It'll pull up in front of a nice, wonderful little Victorian house in the north of London, northeast. So you've had a little trek across the city. He opens the door, takes you down a hallway inside. He opens the door and realizes it's not what he was looking for. He closes it and opens it again. And it's still not what he's looking for. Damn. And then he turns and he faces the other direction to the door across from him. He opens that one. And it opens into a library.
can I just stay in the library?
Here, I'll move the salubri a little more center.
Perfecto.
At the end of the long table, she sits there, her eyes bloody, masked. She smiles. I hadn't expected to see you again. Oh, but someone new. Hello, Mr. White.
Currently black, but yes, charmed, I'm sure.
Yes, you are a contrast of yourself. You have great and terrible power in your possession.
So do you.
The stone unlocks a beast of a man. The blood is of a powerful leader, valuable in its own right. But if you put it to this task, you endanger a great many lives. Julian White Black, ask me your question, and she'll cover her eyes.
How do I succeed in the contest?
Would you be foolish enough to try?
I've been told that that's the only way. Time is conflict, correct? And we've been brought here to contest?
Yes.
Are there other options?
To win the contest is to return and face a great foe. You have the stone.
Oh,
You have the activation. It will take you back.
and release him in our time.
You will fight a mighty foe.
Will the dream stop?
Yes, your friends, most of them anyway, said that they were plagued by these nightmares. You should know that they are unnatural.
Hmm.
They were given to you to motivate these circumstances.
Naturally.
They
So I
will
was right.
when
We were under attack.
yes, in a way you were.
Shit, I thought I was just saying things. Okay. What happens to your time this time?
It is as it always has been and always will be. If you change something here, we wouldn't know.
So we just put the blood on the stone and we're gone?
I have a door for you.
Naturally. I love doors.
She will not speak to the rest of you because she already has. But for you, Julian, and she encourages the rest to follow, your exit is the way you came in.
Is it cheating if I say I'll see you soon?
She takes her hands down over her eyes. Tell me, I shouldn't ask, but this way of life presents promises that we are never certain will come to fruition. I took my own sight to gain a deeper understanding of the world. It's supposed to open an eye of enlightenment. Would you know me with an eye of enlightenment?
We're somewhat similar, you and I. We have given up a lot for power. I suspect you will find your power, although I'm not sure if you will live to regret it.
It's so strange to speak to someone who sounds like me.
I aspire. Good
It's
day.
something I would say. She'll sit back. Her work here is done.
I'll open the door and go through.
The door, there is only one in this library. You've been through this before. It does this to you. You open the door onto a fairly busy London street. It takes you a minute to sort of realize where you are, but by the smells and the sounds, you're near the Thames. You're near the Docks District. It's that main commercial road that kind of comes through there. It's very near where you first came into the city.
I start to head off towards where we first arrived.
The rest going to follow? Julian's moving with a purpose now all of a sudden.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Arthur will take up the rear guard.
Victorian London sounds. A couple of twists and turns through a back alley or two, down another road, and you are right back where you first entered the city. Where Dusable first entered the city, only thanks to a switch in timing, he ended up coming in the middle of the day. Burst in flames and had to jump into the Thames just a couple hundred yards south. You are just down a half a block from Sri Sansa's newsstand, where the Indian man and his turban are there, waving to people, trying to make a sale. Newspapers, magazines. The rest of the street seems normal.
I find the exact spot that I showed up at.
Yeah, you can get a rough idea.
Can I see the portal?
No portal here yet.
Okay. I just turn to the others and I say, I want to be very clear. If your intention is to safeguard the people back home, I believe that the wisest choice is for us to stay here and live out our own lives.
Vanya's just looking at the other guys. That does sound very, very interesting.
We're not welcome here. We've made quite the disruption in this. What makes you think that our unlives are going to last longer than the next 12 hours?
I never said that. Listen to the words that I'm saying. If you care about the people back at home, I believe the safest option is for us to live out whatever remains of our unlives here in London. If what I was told, if I'm understanding it correctly, to go back means that we will face some great enemy, and I only know of one off the top of my head that we've been trying to avoid, which means us going home might be the very thing that releases the thing that we're trying to stop. I'm not trying to convince anyone of anything. I'm simply asking us to walk through whatever door opens with our eyes open, so that I don't have to hear complaints about it later. Do we stay, or do we go?
What does the sheriff think? It's a tough decision, no?
Consequences.
Consequences, indeed.
I mean, and we have no other idea about any other way. I mean, yeah, we just know this very little sliver. We don't know if this is inevitable. Oh,
That is
but
correct.
back home, all everyone that we care of is being tortured. Every single torpor. So we're going to live here for however short period of time, yet they're going to remain tortured.
All but one.
Actually, I suspect that they are not being tortured, because I was just told that the visions we were seeing were a form of attack meant to orchestrate our involvement in this very event. So, for all we know, there are no nightmares in Torpor. But I'm not presenting a definite conclusion. I'm presenting the odds. I don't know what is beyond there, and I don't know if it's better or worse. But I do know that it is taking a risk where we know the potential downside of it. Going back risks releasing something into the city that is very deadly.
But they're going to be continued to be attacked. I just because we don't.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
I know that because I've been having it. I've been having these dreams.
How many dreams have you had since we arrived in London?
I'm sorry, but I don't care about things here.
So, let me be clear. I don't care about your emotional state. It's a factual question. The Salubrian just told us that the dreams were unnatural and used to motivate us into action.
I understand what you're saying.
Please don't interrupt me.
I understand what you're saying.
Please don't interrupt me. I'll continue what I'm saying. Intended to motivate us into action, which means that they were either done by Dusable or by the person back there who was opening the portal, whatever her real name is. If we're here, there's no reason to continue the dreams.
That's the part that you lose me. They will be continued to be motivated to come back here to this point. Come back and try again.
Time travel requires conflict. It requires someone to go back in time with a mission and other people to go back in time to stop them.
Us staying here, does it resolve that conflict that caused us to go back in time?
It avoids it altogether. But again, I'm not arguing for us to stay here. I take it your vote is we go back to Chicago. Noted.
We need to get back to Chicago. The people there, the Empires there, we need to get back.
Noted. Your vote is noted. Thank you for your contribution. Sheriff, Vanya, what is your vote?
I'm curious to hear the sheriff's vote first, if you don't mind.
My question is, there's someone who has not been having these dreams. Then what?
Well,
But you're still the sheriff of Chicago, are you not?
I am.
but he doesn't need to be motivated into action.
And I think if I am to parse things in my own way, if what the Salubri told you is correct, and that the drive of the nightmares brought you here to where you are liberated from them, then one goes back. And ends it. At least one goes back first.
It's unclear whether or not we would be able to do that. But mind you, using the stone and going back might likely unleash the great enemy, and then you would be there alone to face it.
Then,
Although I suppose we would be there too if we lived that long. So
So you hop on the next steamer to Chicago. You find your way to the proper building. You invest in stocks, and bing, bang, boom. But that is the longest of long games. I'm Lilith has a point, but I'm reticent to subscribe to it in full because the man that gave us this was much of the same. He could not see his future, so he did not care. I have not seen my future. And it's not that I don't care. It's just that I live in the moment. So, if we go through, I will go first. It is either Portia, Patricia, whatever her name is. It is either she who is the scion of this great power, or it is the one who initiates this ritual, who becomes a vessel for it. This is my guess, in which case I go through first, the rest of you follow behind me with stakes. And if I start getting all exorcist...
Sheriff, I think that the greatest question I have for you is, are you prepared to answer for your duty to protect the city of Chicago when more learned kindred than us realizes what we may be doing by going back?
The more learned kindred than us. The two, in this instance.
I suspect more. I suspect more.
Perhaps the two we know. One has lost their head, one is out of his head. If nothing here is permanent, unless we make it so. The future is mutable, as per its nature.
So that's a vote to return, I take it.
A vote to return, and I would take the consequences on my shoulders.
Well, that having been said now, finally, I think then I will have to follow suit, of course.
Very well. Then we return.
What are you going to do?
So as the coterie acquiesces, Arthur will go through the steps.
I will hold the stone.
And so
And-
Arthur will
Yeah.
engage the reliquary and the artifice.
As you're using the reliquary,
Here comes.
an angry man on a carriage pulls up here. Horses screeching to a stop. He's got a couple of men with him. He says, I demand satisfaction. You have destroyed my property, invaded my domain, breached the Masquerade. I will have satisfaction.
We don't have time for Colonel Sanders here.
I'm sorry, General, but we have permission from your prince to depart. So,
Yes. He told me. I disagree.
Oh no. Did you hear that, slave? I think you should be going and reporting that now. You know who slave is, don't you?
You think I don't carry weight in this town? Valerius knows my needs.
Right. Well, as thrilling as it is to hear your exploits, General, all due respect, which is none, you're leaving your city, and that will be all the satisfaction that you're going to be able to obtain today.
I don't need to be speaking to the Dark One.
You don't need to,
Gangrel.
but you are.
Quiet.
I'll show you, Dark. And I'm rousing twice. Fuck him.
Gangrel.
You just straight up Doc Holiday'd me. All right. He's like, oh.
Sorry, buddy. It's not good for you to kill your own poppy. I'll do it for you.
It's like, wait.
You might want to hurry up and activate that portal before you go poof. And I wrap the shadows around myself, and I'm gonna smother
You
this.
got hungry on those rouse checks, too.
I sure did.
What are you going to do specifically to Hale's?
First, I'm going to drop the stake at my foot. I'm going to turn into my avatar. I'm going to smother him, and then I'm going to rouse again, which I get to do twice. Even hungrier. Arms of Airman. I'm going to grab the stake while I am suffocating him, and I'm going to drive it through his heart.
He does get to fight back.
What part?
Well, somewhere along the way, right? He has to.
Not the Tenebrous Avatar, but he can fight against me stabbing him with the stake.
Okay.
His dice roll is reduced by 2.
Okay, all of his rolls are reduced by 2.
Mm-hmm. And that is...
What is he? I should be more familiar with a Tenebrous Avatar. So if he's trying to fight off a staking, he can't touch you in your Tenebrous Avatar form.
And he can't see, unless he can see through the darkness, he can't see either.
So 2 dice down. All right, he's going to have to do something strange here.
And pitch blackness.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to get hungrier. But then... Okay. He's old.
Of course he is.
So it's 1, oh shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, minus 2. So he's got 9 dice.
It's Wits Oblivion to avoid attacks. Oh, no.
What is it to avoid attacks?
The arms is, no, that's me for me to avoid the attacks. Yeah, sorry.
But it should be like a dex brawl.
We go through this. It doesn't say. But I guess dex brawl for the stake. I can do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. The staking part is the dex brawl. I'll tell you what. Let's just roll that part straight up. You're aroused? He's down 2 dice. Okay, so he's got 9 to roll.
Okay.
You should roll your... Oh, shit. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
The darker the night, evil will find her.
I'll spend a willpower.
Go ahead. Oh, 9. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You're going to match him on 7... on a roll of 7 versus 7. You smother him, you have him grappled, but you don't have him staked. You've got him attacked, you've got him grappled, you've got him blinded and struggling. But he's not completely down.
Okay.
His men are going to try to take swipes at you with whatever they have. Their claws, their sticks, bats. In your form, they can't touch you. He's vulnerable still. Arthur, what would you like to do?
I'll engage the portal.
All you have to do is either break the reliquary over the stone to do it the fastest way, or figure out how the reliquary works and squirt some blood on the stone. Depends on whether you want to keep an antique around. At least it will be an antique if you make it back.
You know, it's gonna, if it's just like a quartz or glass, like within like the brass fuselage, I'm just gonna just break the silicate bits and let the blood flow in. The brass will remain intact.
Instantly, a portal appears. Roughly the same spot that it was before. Julian has General Halesworth wrapped up. In another round or two, he's going to have another opportunity to really kill him. Vanya, Lilith, are you... You see a portal open, you see Julian go attack the general.
I mean, obviously Julian has the general under control, so I'd look to Arthur, and I'll go through the portal when he goes through the portal.
I don't know if Arthur's going to go right away. If Halesworth dies, who knows what happens?
Yeah, I mean, I can't go through the portal by myself, so I'll wait.
Okay.
Don't make me throw you guys. I've done it before. I'll do it again.
Vanya's gonna back away. And watch.
From which?
From the shadows and the foray that's going on, and the portal, and just kind of back away to watch everything unfold.
No. Okay. Julian?
It was Arthur's.
Yeah, if Arthur's going to talk, I was going to let him talk.
Question about the portal: is it just like a straight up just like cut through the skin of space and time? Like, is it like can I like smell and hear things from the other side, or is it more like a Stargate where you just kind of like bloop
It's
and
literally a one-dimensional construct in that you're certain you can see it from this side, but if you were to go around the other side of it, it probably wouldn't appear at all. It's got one side here.
And so I'm just gonna put his fingers in his lips. Let's go, Napoleon. And see if Napoleon can hear him through the vastness of time and space.
You don't hear anything come back.
Damn it! With
sorry.
a shot. And there's like wharf. Anyway,
And I don't doubt for a second that's Arthur's first thought with opening a portal.
is it like with a shot? Yeah, and I'm just gonna throw Lilith through.
You're going to throw Lilith through?
Yep. She's like, sorry, prick. We've established something. Someone's gonna have to make it back and make sure Napoleon keeps up his femur diet. So just
I'm going to make sure that Lilith goes through. Gonna make sure.
if she wants to contest me, she's more than welcome
If
to.
you think
If I
about
think that I could.
if you think about it, of all the people who needs to make it back, I think it's Lilith.
I mean, honestly, I think it's Lilith and Julian because Julian's a primogen, so that's then the vacuums suck.
You're the sheriff. You're the sheriff.
There's dozens like me.
I won't fight him back if he's throwing me into the portal.
Okay, yeah.
Lilith, you will be the first to leave this time and go through the portal. We'll catch up with you. Well,
Later.
who knows when. But Arthur, Julian is. He's going to kill Halesworth. It looks like that to you. He's gone into his complete shadow tentacle form. He's untouched by the other gangrels that are swiping at him to try to get him off of Halesworth, and they can't. Halesworth is wrapped in a black blanket that his men can't even touch.
Julian. Do you have ears?
Mm-hmm.
In that chthonic form.
Yep. What can I do for you?
I just like there's this swirling mass of shadow tentacles flying around in all yours.
He's like, yeah, man, what's up? Yeah. So, the train is at the station.
Then depart.
He challenged me, and I am a man of old-fashioned statures.
Which is exactly what I don't have time for. Depart, Sheriff.
If I wink out of existence, I will have umbrage with you and whatever comes after. Vanyo! Take your time with the bibbidi boobidi.
Vanyo isn't where you last left him, I don't think. Is
Also,
he?
bye.
Nope.
He went through the portal?
You didn't see him go through the portal.
Fine. Sheriff.
Halesworth is struggling under your shadows. He's not going anywhere. He doesn't need to breathe, so it's hard to suffocate him. But what are you going to do?
But he's grappled.
He is grappled completely.
So I have three shadow appendages.
Okay.
And he's grappled. So
yeah.
I should just be able to stick the stake into him now, right?
You can.
It's the classic like knife drop grab.
That doesn't kill us right away.
No, it doesn't.
Just puts us into torpor. Yeah, I'm just going to do that.
On your turn, with one of your appendages, you can finally get the stake that only wounded him. Pull it back.
As I do, I just want to say, in quite some time, there's going to be a whole war about just this very thing. And you're going to lose. Badly. So allow me to be the first to welcome you to your new reality. And then I'm going to drive the stake into him.
Oh. Halesworth will freeze in his features. Eyes open. Face in shock. Surprise.
And Julian will, as his ghost form, and he will come right up to Arthur, who, in keeping Arthur in between him and the portal, and he'll say, "Depart, Sheriff."
Arthur, are you going to go through the portal?
With Lilith through and Vanyo.
Vanyo is gone somewhere. Julian has staked, though not permanently killed, Halesworth.
Primogen bears rank. And the soldier follows orders. And so Arthur will just back through the portal.
I'll go and I will follow.
You will see one last image, Arthur. Julian has left the body of Halesworth on the street. Halesworth's men come over to it. They bring out a young boy. Halesworth must have been paying attention to those wild and whirling words you spoke with him over a drink at St. Alphege before you burned it to the ground.
That
He
one we
must
did do.
He must have been listening, or at least trying to make sense of your metaphors and your strange futuristic talk, as he would call it later. But he understood one thing. The boy was your lifeline.
Uh-oh.
And when Valerius said he was going to let you go, Valerius knew there would be consequences. Halesworth, in a rage, brought that boy with him. They were given explicit instructions, his men. And the last thing you see before you back your way through that portal is them slit his throat and drop his lifeless body to the ground. Consequence.
Consequences.
Julian, you can leave too. The portal waits for you. The portal does hang for a little while longer.
Wait,
Expecting another.
wait. You said that you said that the portal's waiting
A little bit.
for me?
No, after you go through, it's going to wait a little.
Oh, because can I feed in this form?
I don't believe you can. In
Fine.
fact, we had talked about that. That's one of the
Okay,
limitations.
fine. Then I'll go.
Okay. You'd also, if you were going to feed on Halesworth, you'd still have 2 more gangrel to worry about. Vanyo, from your vantage point, you'll see it all happen. You'll see the portal. It's there. It's even calling to you a bit. Are you sure about your decision?
Oh, yes, very sure.
Then after a while, just a few moments really, after Julian goes through and you turn your back on him, the portal will disappear. Halesworth's men will take the stake out of his chest, explain what happened, showing the body of the boy, and he seems satisfied. And for 160 years, you will wait for the events of the next episode. So until next time, everyone, we're going to call it here. And for some of you, it will be instant, an instantaneous transfer back to your proper time. For some of you, it will take a little bit longer. Some of you may have a different experience altogether. It's coming down to the end. I'm very, very excited. So thank you all for joining me. That's the end of tonight's episode. Let's go through the cast here. Lilith, we got rid of you early by throwing you through the portal. So,
Hey, don't mind me. You can just throw me anywhere.
thrown out of the pit, thrown through a portal. This gangrel's getting fresh with you.
Apparently so.
Feels
You give him an
feels-
inch.
I tell you.
Yeah. Just wait till we get back. Just kidding. Yeah, I'm Grace. I'm playing Lilith. Yeah, that's me. Finally back to Chicago. Thank God.
As far as you know.
Hopefully,
Yeah, don't jump the gun, because anything can
Yeah.
happen between now and then.
anything can happen.
Arthur Valland, the Frenchman,
The late and the late mediocre Arthur Valand, possibly. The recently Marty McFly.
You never know what would happen, right?
Yeah, listen. If I show up as like Generation 9 or Generation 9 old man and just straight up end game Captain America that shit, who the fuck knows? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'll take it as it comes. No, I don't think I will.
Julian Black, Julian White, and I'm sorry Halesworth got a little racial with you, but he is,
It's okay. He learned.
a bit of a yeah, he learned his lesson. God.
As will anyone else if they try it.
Whew. And I got to tell you, man, he was rolling a lot of dice in that.
I was fully prepared to commit more resources
really
if
were.
I needed to.
Yeah, you don't go light in that situation.
No.
He's all over this city since the game began. I'm proud of you. That's
Thank you,
how
sir.
this game is supposed to work. So, tell us about yourself and where else we can find you.
I'm Wes. Right now, you can find me here and on Tuesdays in Will's game, where I play a much more chill stoner druid. So yeah, thanks for having me.
The Stoner Druid. Check out the Stoner Druid. I highly recommend.
Highly entertaining.
Good berries are great berries, man.
And Will the player.
Pew pew
How you
pew.
Vanyo, man.
Yeah.
When you had conceived this Vanyo character, we talked about his political leanings, the fact that he'd been through wars and different sides.
Mm-hmm.
I never figured him for such a chicken shit.
Oh, he's not chicken.
He's
Highly calculated.
highly calculating.
When you don't have the tools to go toe to toe with somebody, you don't go toe to toe with them. You find a different way of doing business.
Some people just find a coterie that can back them up, fill in the gaps, and then go after those people together. And
they did a wonderful job doing that. And Vanyo did what Vanyo needed to do.
Fair enough. We will talk in the coming week here about Vanyo a little bit, and Arthur and I will talk a little bit this week about Arthur. But we'll find out next week with the exciting conclusion, episode 8 of Wicked City Kindred, back in the Windy City. This is going to be a lot of fun. So everybody, I'm Uncle Tony, your storyteller. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for putting up with our nonsense. Join the other shows that we have here. Find us on Discord, find us on Twitch, find us on YouTube, all that good stuff.
Links to everything, if you're on Twitch, is down below in the doobly-doo.
The Doobly-Doo does all kinds of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, everybody, and have a great night. Goodbye from my end.
Adios.
Toodles.
Bye.